This is Mac OS Ken.
Apple prods would-be shoppers, giving iPhone a hardcore bath, and a small Mac is big in Japan. It's Wednesday, the 2nd of December, 2020. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by NordVPN. Sign up for a 2-year plan and get 4 more months free with offer code MacOSKen at nordvpn.com/MacOSKen. This show is also sponsored by Mint Mobile, bringing you an amazing holiday deal. Right now, when you switch to Mint Mobile, you can buy any 3-month plan and get another 3 months for free. Who doesn't like to save money? Especially this year and especially this time of year. Mint Mobile can make that happen with plans starting at just $15 a month. That is unlimited talk and text and high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. I've been using Mint Mobile for a while now. For me, the service has been great and the savings are crazy. Good. They're crazy good. Mint Mobile is saving me hundreds of dollars a year, is what I'm saying. Of course, you want to make sure it's right for you, too. And you can with their 7-day money-back guarantee. If you're not completely satisfied, return it within 7 days for a full refund. With a deal this good, now is an excellent time to try Mint Mobile. For a limited time, buy any 3-month Mint Mobile plan and get 3 more months free by going to mintmobile.com/MacOSKen. That's MINT, mintmobile.com/MacOSKen. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/MacOSKen. And a huge thanks to Mint Mobile for sponsoring today's show. Following up on yesterday's Where to Get Stuff When story, a reminder from Apple that for all the points of the compass, there's only one direction, and time is its only measure. Put another way, if you want to order stuff from Apple and get it by Christmas, keep an eye on the calendar. According to a piece from Mac Rumors, Apple on Tuesday added a shipping fulfillment page to its website in the US, Canada, Australia, UK, and many other countries. The page provides a list of order-by deadlines for products like the iPhone, iPad, Mac, Apple Watch, Apple TV, HomePod, and AirPods to arrive by December 24th. I'll let you know if you're here in the States, you are already too late for an iPhone 12 Pro, a HomePod Mini if you want to get it from Apple, and the entry-level iPad. Today, Wednesday, the 2nd of December, is the last day to order an iPhone 12 Pro Max and get it by Christmas. Again, if you're ordering directly from Apple. Closing dates for the rest of Apple's listed kit run from the 9th of December through the 22nd. News of a new thing you might see under a tree. Apple Insider says Apple's MagSafe Duo charger has gone on sale. That's Apple's 2-in-1 charger for iPhones as far back as iPhone 8, Apple Watches as far back as the first ones, and wireless charging cases for AirPods and AirPods Pro. Available for $129, there are plenty of the charging stations to go around for now. Ordering Tuesday would have had one to you by Friday or Thursday with expedited shipping. Buy now isn't the only holiday signal from Apple. iMore says it is snowing in the Apple Store app. Well, you can make it snow in the Apple Store app, conveniently located in Apple's App Store. Continuing an end-of-the-year tradition, iMore says to make it snow in the app, simply go to the Search tab and tap the words, "Let it snow" into the text field. And it will in the application. You can also do a sort of snow globe thing, shake your phone and the flakes will go whirling. Just make sure you got a good grip on it. And now, on with the snow. Remember when Apple said iPhone could stand up to real-world submersion, and Italy said Apple was full of it? While CNET hasn't said that Italy is full of it, they do show the phone surviving something besides lab water. I told you yesterday of Italy fining Apple $12 million US for leading consumers astray on iPhone's actual water resistance. While Apple says several models of iPhone can stand up to 30 minutes of submersion without sustaining damage, Italy says that's only true for pure water used in a laboratory. Drop your phone in real-world water, and damage is more likely, according to Italian authorities. Hold my vino, says CNET. That site got together with Mission Robotics to give iPhone 12 a long, slow baptism in the chilly waters of Lake Tahoe. Then they gave it a longer one. For the first test, they went as far down as Apple's on-the-box rating, 19.6 feet deep for 30 minutes. Then they dried it with a towel, and almost everything worked fine. Playing back a voice memo, the speaker sounded a bit muffled, straight out of the lake. They think it might have gotten better if they'd given it longer to dry, but no time for that. They had another test. Test 2 took the phone down 65 feet for 40 minutes. They knew it was still working to some extent. They had attached the phone to a drone with the screen facing the drone's camera so they could watch for functionality or lack thereof. Surprisingly, the piece says, after longer than rated at a much greater depth, everything worked as normal. The screen was responsive, the volume and power buttons worked, and the 2 cameras were in working order as well. The speaker still sounded muffled when playing back the voice memo, but it was still audible. Perhaps to give the phone a fighting chance, CNET powered it off and let it dry out for 72 hours, though that second test seems to have done more damage than initially thought. The phone itself was completely dry, but its 3 lenses, the ultra-wide and wide angle on the back, as well as the front camera, had developed some fogging. Additionally, powering it on showed a diagnostics prompt around which they were unable to pass. CNET points out that their test was not scientific. Still, they are comfortable with Apple's water resistance claims for iPhone 12. Your mileage may vary, and of course, try to not drop your phone in a lake. While Mac Mini isn't completely forgotten, it's not usually a barn burner. And yet a piece from Apple Insider says the recently released M1 Mac Mini has made Apple #1 in Japan for desktop PCs. The Japanese analytics firm BCN Retail has aggregated the sales data of mass retailers and online stores for the island nation. According to that firm, from the 1st of August through the 3rd of November, Apple's desktop market share in Japan stood at about 15%. With the launch of Mac Mini, Apple's desktop share in Japan shot up to just over 27%, enough for the top spot where desktops are concerned. Perhaps that's flash-in-the-pan interest in the new machine. Maybe it's the start of a long run at the top. Time and BCN Retail will tell. More news in a moment, but first a word from NordVPN. Online security starts with a click. Actually, NordVPN started 8 years ago with 4 childhood friends who saw a problem. Spending time in different parts of the world, they saw internet censorship, content control, and intrusive government surveillance growing faster than ever before. NordVPN is their solution. It lets them, you, and 14 million other people around the world surf without fear of folks seeing what they're doing online. It also lets them access accounts around the world without being held back by such antiquated notions as physical location. Trying servers both here and abroad, my access has been speedy and easy. But try it for yourself with their special Christmas deal. Every purchase of a 2-year plan will get you 4 additional months free. Go to nordvpn.com/macosken and use the coupon macosken at checkout. NordVPN comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so take advantage of this deal. Get 4 additional months free with a 2-year plan. Just use the coupon macosken at nordvpn.com/macosken. And a big thanks to NordVPN for sponsoring today's show. Everything old is new again. Apple Insider says the consumer advocacy group Euroconsumers is suing Apple over performance throttling issues tied to BatteryGate. Between Apple's $29 battery replacement program, various settlements reached, and the passing of, seriously, years, you probably thought this one was over. It's okay. I've been wrong before, too. Euroconsumers is suing Apple in Spain, Italy, Portugal, and Belgium, man, Belgium. The piece quotes Els Brugman, head of policy and enforcement at Euroconsumers, as saying Apple pushed updates to mask problems with the battery, knowing it would slow down phones. Brugman added that European consumers just want to be treated with the same respect that was given to consumers in the U.S. Yeah, those settlements I mentioned were here, apparently, not there. So yeah, lawsuits. Together, the piece says Euroconsumers' 4 complaints seek about 180 million euros, that is just under $220 million US, in damages from Apple. News of a new show planned for Apple TV Plus. The company issued a press release Tuesday announcing a series order for the bilingual half-hour comedy Acapulco. Describing the show, Apple says, "In Acapulco, a young Mexican man's dream comes true when he gets the job of a lifetime at the hottest resort in Acapulco. But he soon realizes the job is far more complicated than he ever imagined, as all of his beliefs and morals start to be questioned." The show takes place in 1984 with Eugenio Derbez narrating and playing the present-day version of the main character. So, like the Wonder Years, but not. The combined Spanish-English language series is part of an expanding international push for Apple TV+. The press release lists other such titles, including Echo 3, Masters of the Air, Slow Horses, and Pachinko. No word in the press release on when Acapulco will land in Apple's stream. One of the big brains behind Siri has been poached. Apple Insider says Siri architect Brian Pinkerton has gone to work for Roku. He's now serving as the streaming platform's Senior VP of Advanced Development. According to a management page on Roku's site, Pinkerton will lead technical innovation and strategic software development. Though unconfirmed, he may also live the good life across the sea. Is he tired of sex? Well, you could ask, but why bother? Besides, ask such a personal question, and he may get you. In case you're wondering what that was about, the last bit contained 5 songs from the Weezer album, Pinkerton. You're welcome. If FaceTime calls on your old phone suddenly look better, it's not your imagination. Cult of Mac says Apple quietly added support for FaceTime HD to an array of iPhones. Every model newer than the iPhone 8 can make video calls at 1080p resolution as long as the device runs iOS 14.2. The wording there is kind of weird. The piece does go on to clarify, though, it's iPhone 8 and newer, not just newer than iPhone 8. As for why we're only hearing about this now, we don't know. Curiously, the cult says Apple made no mention of this enhancement in its release notes for iOS 14.2. That's why it's only now coming to light. And finally today, from something old looking sharper to something sharp starting to wear out. Mac Rumors says Apple's first Retina 5K iMacs have landed on the vintage lists. Those are products that have not been sold for more than 5 and less than 7 years ago, making this another of those makes you feel old stories. The piece says a number of iMacs have hit the milestone, including the 21.5-inch iMac late 2013 and mid-2014, the 27-inch iMac late 2013, the Retina 5K 27-inch iMac late 2014, and Retina 5K 27-inch iMac mid-2015. While fixing such devices may be difficult, it's not impossible. Obsolete would be impossible, at least through Apple channels. Vintage products can be repaired by Apple and Apple-authorized service providers, provided there are parts available for them. Coming up in a few minutes, the Maccast's Adam Christensen and I feel our ways through new hardware and operating systems from Apple. Catch that show in a few minutes, wherever podcasts are thrown. Yesterday on macOS Can Live, we talked over an open letter to President-elect Biden, telling him to not talk to anybody in big tech. Got my dander up. You can catch a replay at youtube.com/kenray or subscribe to the audio podcast macOS Can Live, wherever you subscribe to podcasts. Also going live again today, 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern, youtube.com/kenray. Come by, say hi, and enjoy. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by Mint Mobile. Buy any 3-month plan and get 3 more months free at mintmobile.com/macOSken. This show is also sponsored by NordVPN. Sign up for a 2-year plan and get 4 more months free with offer code macOSken at nordvpn.com/macOSken. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. Info at macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.